Thank you, Rocky. And thank you, speakers, for sharing your story with me and with everybody else. Howdy, and good evening, everyone. Friends, family, staff, faculty, thank you for coming to celebrate this occasion with the fall quarter 2015 Globe University graduates. Graduates, if you could take a moment, close your eyes. I'm going to trust you're doing it because you can't see you. Take a deep breath and repeat after me. Hakuna Matata. I heard a lot of laughing, but I didn't hear Hakuna Matata. Let's try it again. Take a deep breath. Hakuna Matata. Better. Okay. Obviously, you were not expecting that. Okay. Does anybody know what that means? No worries. And that is how you should all be feeling right now, especially the graduates. Let me explain why. For those of you who don't know me, I was in your seat 18 months ago, graduating from Globe University-Madison East with an associate's degree in massage therapy. I was excited, nervous, anxious, probably a few other emotions I don't remember, and really wanting to drink from the bar downstairs. However, let's go back a little further. I was born and raised on a dairy farm in Elkhorn, Wisconsin. Over the next 18 years, my parents installed values in me like a hard work ethic. She did not take that out of here like she told me she was going to. Got it, don't worry. The desire to help others, a positive outlook on life, and the ability to use what I had available to get the job done to the best of my abilities. And they instilled that as deep in me as they could. January 2006, I joined the United States Army. I did my basic training in Fort Sill, Oklahoma, my AIT in Fort Bliss, Texas, where I was trained to drive anything with wheels. Finally ending up in my first duty station, Fort Hood, Texas. In Fort Hood, I was attached to a fueling unit, filling up helicopters from the back of a 2,500-gallon tanker truck, or as my family called them, rolling bombs. Over the next year and a half, I moved up in rank to specialist, becoming one of the strongest members, emotionally and physically, in my platoon. As my unit was getting ready for deployment to Iraq, we went out to desert training in California for a month and a half. I was feeling healthy, fit, and ready for whatever the world could throw my way, or so I thought. When my unit and I got back to Texas at the end of July in 2007, I suddenly noticed that I couldn't read any of the street signs, road, speed limit, or exit signs, or most of the gauges on my truck dashboard. Over the next month and a half, my eyes dropped drastically, going through 6 pairs of glasses. When I got to my 6th pair, my eye doctor said that was enough. They wanted to monitor me to see what happened next. Well, the neurologist took a look at my head to figure out my migraines that came along at relatively the same time. Every test they took, whether it was MRI, MRA, CAT scan, blood vessel test, or most recently, they tested 244 of my genes in my DNA. All tests came back negative. They told me there was nothing wrong. There was no reason why I should have migraines, just as there was no reason why I should be losing my vision. My eyes were, and are, perfectly healthy. Meanwhile, I continued to do my soldier duties until my migraines got to the point where I got so dizzy that I fell to my hands and knees and threw up on 2 separate occasions. After that, my doctors put me on a permanent profile, which is a medical slip saying you can't do anything physical. For those of you who don't know anything about the military, when you get a permanent profile, you're basically shunned from your unit. You are no longer any good to them because you can't fulfill your duties, you can't do anything. I went from one of the strongest in my platoon to the weakest, and I was sent to the medical platoon. The medical platoon is where all the permanent profile people and the retiring soldiers from the military go to out-process. We had 2 formations a day, and other than that, the most strenuous thing I was allowed to do was play a game of pool or walk across the street to the hospital. Keep in the back of your mind, born and raised a farmer, sitting still wasn't really anything a part of who I am or what I'm good at. Depression hit me with the force of a tornado, laying everything I knew in a field of debris. I was trapped in a place where I couldn't do anything and I couldn't go home. It took the military a year and a half to medically discharge me. Some of the doctors thought I was faking it to get out because all the tests came back negative and none of the medicine was working. For 2 weeks straight, I sat on base and did nothing. Then came home, ate my supper, watched some television, and that was about it. I felt worthless, tired, sore, and lost. I was losing my Hakuna Matata, and I didn't like it. So I did 2 things. 1, I started walking or jogging as much as I could handle to get my positive endorphins flowing again. And 2, I called families, friends, and loved ones who helped give me hope for my future. Now let's pause here for a second. You're probably thinking, well, this isn't a very inspiring speech for graduation. However, I'm telling you these things because I want you to know that it's okay to feel down. It's okay to cry if you're going through hard times. In fact, I encourage it. It can be therapeutic. And because it's not our failures and our hardships that define us. It's how we rise from the ashes. In January 2009, I received an honorable discharge for my disability, vision loss, and chronic migraines. When I got out, I worked at 2 different farmers, a freezer warehouse, and a concrete position, trying to ignore my migraines as much as possible. However, all of my supervisors had to let me go because I was too much of a liability on the roads and operating heavy machinery. For some reason, they didn't like a blind guy operating heavy machinery. Goes right along with the military, shooting guns and driving trucks. I don't know why, but when my last farm job let me go, my wife, 3 boys, and I moved back in with my family. I needed to take a step back and think about my current situation. How will I support my wife and 3 boys? What career could I have that doesn't require vision? If you think about it, it doesn't give me a whole lot of options. I was contacted by the Veterans Affairs to get me in touch with more doctors and with a vision loss specialist who helped me to adjust with a life without vision. My trainer was Larissa, and I owe her so much. Larissa introduced me to the walking cane, these lovely things are, and had me walk around Milwaukee, blindfolded, with her assistance, don't worry. After a couple of sessions, my confidence started to grow. I was starting to realize that I was still able to get around by myself, that I could do things. I just needed to make a few modifications, use my other senses. I decided to take what she was saying to heart, so I went home and started to train myself to get around my family's farm blind. I started doing my morning chores, using my sense of touch and hearing, getting to know the barn in a whole new way. Mind you, my barn was built in like the 1920-somethings, when people were 5'5" as tall. I'm 6'6". 12 by 12 oak beams don't move. Just to let you know. I had a few mishaps. I let a few different groups of heifers get out of their pens. Some got mixed up with others. Some got out of the barn. As the weeks passed, I learned to listen to the animals' hoofbeats, where the tractor was at any given time, keep track of which mixing my dad was on, and I even was able to hone in to where my kids were in the house at any given time. I was becoming aware of my surroundings. I was seeing with my ears and my hands, not my eyes. Having my world starting to come to light in this new way, I took a new look at my career options. I realized I was going to need help and training with all of my limited choices I had. I didn't know what I wanted to do. However, I knew I wanted to help others, and I knew I wanted to have something physically challenging for myself. Massage therapy seemed like the best match for both of those. Mind you, I had never had a massage before in my life, and I had no idea what I was getting into. My first massage was actually on a chair from Robin at a school event. So, here at Globe University, I was welcomed with open arms from day one. All of the staff and professors were willing to work with me and my vision loss, blowing up fonts so I could read the work, going over things again, or allowing me to feel what I couldn't see. Krista made sure I had as many of the books on PDF as possible so I could blow up the font on my computer and actually read the book. Now that you guys have the iPads and all that, everything's on book, that's a little easier for you. And most importantly, they believed in me. Robin Reinhardt told me something I will never forget, as it was a turning point in my schooling, in my perspective, and in my life. Over in Europe, they seek out their blind for massage therapy because they have a higher sense of touch and is more discreet, meaning they can't give someone a better massage based on their looks. The more I thought about that, the more it made sense, and the more confident I felt about myself and massage therapy. So I pushed myself. Started using the drive of having to know everything so well that I could do it blind. And Robin and Laura challenged me in every class that I had. As my school career progressed, I noticed my fellow classmates asking me questions and wanting to work with me because I was looking at things differently. They also knew that no matter what modality or area of the body we were working on, they were almost guaranteed to find something in my body. Farming and military work is a little hard on the muscles. I graduated with honors, the respect of my peers and professors, and more importantly, my Hakuna Matata fully intact. Now I have a career that I love, helping people in a way I could have only dreamt about prior to graduating. However, my struggle is far from over. My vision is still getting worse. I'm legally blind right now. I was told that my retina is half gone and still deteriorating. There's a possibility I could go completely blind. My light sensitivity is getting worse. I wear sunglasses practically 24/7. My reds and oranges, blues and greens, and whites and yellows are starting to blur together. And a year ago, this month, the VA took my driver's license. Now I rely on others to get me around, to take my children places, and now my only modes of self-transportation are walking or riding my bicycle. But I'm taking it in stride as much as I can. I have good people around me that are willing to help, plus, now I can barter with them rides for massage. Most recently, I started working on my own massage business, so I can work from home, giving my loved ones one less thing to worry about, and help my family to the best of my abilities, which, as I pointed out, are getting stronger the worse my vision gets. For some reason or other, the other ones tend to heighten whenever your vision goes. Taking each hurdle as it comes and finding a way to use it to better myself, always learning from my experiences. Some of you may be feeling nervous about to embark on a new journey, whether you're chasing your passion or just trying to best enhance your life. You being here at graduation, finally about to turn to the next chapter in your life, unsure of exactly what will happen next. Luckily, like you, I have the support, knowledge, and compassionate determination of the staff and faculty at Globe University here in Madison. I'm sure you've heard them say, and I quote, "If you ever have any questions, please ask," or, "If you need help at anything, even after graduation, we are here for you." You guys heard them say that, right? I'm here to tell you they're not lying. Let's take a moment and think about this for a little bit. As you step forward from here, you're not alone. You may be leading the march. However, you have your family, friends, both at home and those sitting to your right and to your left, as well as all the staff and faculty of Globe University who have your back anytime you ask. So with the knowledge you now possess and the support of everyone here, what do you have to worry about? Hakuna Matata looks a little more realistic now. I told you my story so I could show you a different perspective on life, to give you my example of how no matter what happens in life, whatever obstacles come your way, when you keep your family, friends, and loved ones close, along with a little Hakuna Matata mentality, you can overcome anything that comes your way. You can rise from the ashes. One last thing. I want you to remember as you step forth from this place, never forget where you came from or who you are. To give thanks where thanks is due. And on that note, I want to thank my wife, Ashley, for pushing me to pursue massage therapy, and my family, friends, and clinic clients for allowing me to practice on them, as well as all of their constructive criticism. To Robin Reinhardt and Laura Jeske for challenging me, believing in me when I was losing belief in myself, and teaching the passionate art of massage therapy. Elizabeth Dish for teaching me to sound good on paper as well as in person, and the whole Globe staff and faculty for giving me back my Hakuna Matata. Congratulations, graduates. You've made it, and more importantly, you can make it. Remember, a little Hakuna Matata can go a long way.